Welcome to week 2 of our September Challenger. I'm glad to see some of you back. It didn't scare you off last time. So today's week 2, and just like previous weeks, we're going to be doing our entire class in standing because it is our Challenger class, meaning that it is a higher intensity and a higher impact class as well. And all the classes in the series are recorded and they will be going on to our PSBC YouTube channel if anybody would like to watch the class at a later date. And just like last week, the class will be relatively intensive. So if you do need to take a break in the class, that's absolutely fine. Please feel free to take breaks and then join right back in if you're able to. I'm in a new room today for our class, so hopefully it's not too echoey. I've just moved this week, and so I've got a bit of an empty room here that I'm using today. So hopefully you can hear me okay and you can see me okay. Okay, great. So I think there probably will be some people trickling in as we're doing the class, and that's absolutely fine. But we're gonna get started. Now for today, you're going to be needing a little tea towel or some kind of a fabric, some kind of cloth, much like we used last time. And that would be the only equipment you need today. So maybe take a moment and grab a tea towel or some kind of a lightweight type fabric that you can use for today's class. I'm just gonna double check here that I've already got the class recorded. Yep, perfect. Okay, great. Well, shall we get started? If you do want to ask me any questions during the class, you're welcome to type in the chat box and I will come forward and I will read the chat box every now and then. I probably won't be able to reply super quickly because I will be moving with you. So I won't be able to see the chat box that closely until I move forward, but I will try to remember to come forward every now and then, just in case there are any questions. And of course, at the end of the class, you're welcome to raise your hand and I can allow you to turn on your mic, and then in which case you're welcome to ask the question using your voice if you prefer not to type as well. Okay, great, let's get started. I'm gonna move back. I'm hoping that you can see me okay. Yeah, okay, let's get started. We're gonna start by marching on the spot here, and we're gonna lift those knees up nice and high. We're gonna swing those arms as well. And just like previous weeks, when we're doing the marching on the spot movement, you want to make sure that your arms are not just moving forward, but you want them to move behind you as well. So if I'm turning to the side, you can see that my arms are swinging back just as much as they're swinging forward. So I'm not just doing this, but I'm swinging the arms back as well. And it's the opposite arm to the leg as you're doing this marching pattern. Nicely done. So you can lift those knees up a little higher, swing those arms a little more. Now we're going to keep the same marching pattern going. This time we're going to float the arms up into a T shape like so, keeping those knees up nice and high. And we're going to bring the knee to the opposite hand like so. So I'm saying knee to hand, not hand to knee, because I don't want to see anyone do this, right? You want to stand up tall and you want to lift those knees up nice and high to meet your hand here. Good, nicely done. Try to bring those arms back into a T shape every time, opening the chest, crown of the head, reaching to the ceiling. Nicely done. And now, same pattern, but this time we're going to bring the knee to the opposite forearm. So you got to twist a little bit more now to get the knee to touch or reach the forearm here. If you can't quite reach the forearm, don't worry, that's okay. Just reach as far as you can, even if you have to stay with the hand to the knee. Twisting your upper body a little bit as you're doing this. And you're still opening the chest, so reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling. We're not doing this. Want to stand up nice and tall, check in with your posture here. Nicely done.
Remember, in the class, you don't have to do anything as quick as what I'm doing here. But of course, I do want you to challenge yourself to try to keep up with the pace if you can. But of course, you're welcome to do things slower as well. Now, we're going to go knee to opposite elbow. You got to twist a little bit more than you were a moment ago in order to get the knee to reach the elbow. Of course, if you can't quite reach, that's okay. Just twist as far as you can to try to get the elbow towards the knee. Try to get them in line as much as you can. Check in with your posture. Are we still standing up nice and tall, or are we starting to do this? Crown of the head still reaching for the ceiling here. Nicely done. A couple more. And then we're going to go back to the knee to the opposite hand. Now, keeping this pattern going of the knee touching the opposite hand, you're going to now travel sideways with this. A little bit of a thinker for you here. So depending on the space that you're in, hopefully you have some room to travel sideways. And as you're traveling sideways, notice here that I'm keeping my chest and my hips facing the front. So I'm not turning like this as I'm moving, but I'm keeping my chest and my hips facing forward so that as I'm doing this travel sideways movement, I'm actually traveling sideways and I'm not just turning my body forward like that. Check in with your posture. Are we still standing up nice and tall? Crown of the head still reaching for the ceiling, hopefully. Knees lifting up nice and high. Well done. Let's do one more here. All the way to the side. Good. Okay. We're going to reach one leg forward, straighten the knee. Circle the opposite arm back like so. And switch sides. So from the side, this is what it looks like. You're straightening the knee, reaching the arm, straightening the knee, reaching the opposite arm back like so. Bending your chest forward over the foot as well to get a bit of that stretch at the back of the thigh. Try to let your arms be really loose here. You're swinging the arms. We're not trying to grip the shoulder too much here. You're trying to loosen the arms and just let them swing with gravity, with momentum. How we doing? Bring your chest a little lower if you can't feel the stretch. Want to bend forward over the leg. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, legs in like so. We're going to step out to the side and we're going to go into a squat position, almost like you're about to sit in a chair. Reach the arms forward, step back in. Then from here, we're going to rise up onto our toes and lower down. Same to the other side. Stepping out, squat, reach the arms forward, open the fingers, step back in, rise onto the toes. Every time you rise onto the toes, instead of thinking up, think down. You're pushing the floor away from you. That will help you with your balance. Nicely done. Warming up these hips here. If you can't go quite as low, don't worry. Don't worry about the super low squat. Just go as much as you can. Try to really open up those knees, open up the hips. Good. Let's do one more. And rise. And lower. Bring those legs out nice and wide. Reach those arms out to the side. We're now going to tip down and stretch to one side, trying to keep your chest facing forward. So don't let yourself collapse forward like this. You want to keep the chest open. And if you check in with yourself here, you should feel that your spine is on a curve, right? So we're not just doing this. We're not just moving the arms, but we're actually using our body and we're curving over to the side. Hold it here. And coming back up. Drop the arms for a second and reach them out again. And we're going to tip down to the side. Nicely done. Keep the chest forward, shoulders away from the ears. Come back up, throw up the arms for a second, one more each side, reaching out, opening the arms, tipping down to the side. Make sure it's not just the arms, but you want your body to be tipping to the side as well. You should feel a stretch on the outside. Coming back up, drop the arms other side, reaching those arms out, tipping down to the side. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, long neck. Back up and rest. Keep the legs here. You're going to bend those elbows, almost like you're placing them on a table. And from here, keeping your feet planted on the floor, we're just going to be swinging the arms and the upper body around like so. So a bit of a rotation. Don't go too quick here. I don't want anyone to throw out their backs. I just want you to rotate on the spot, nice and gentle. You're not really forcing any movement. You're just giving yourself some of this rotation. Imagine your spine like a corkscrew. So you don't want to be getting lower like this. You want to almost grow taller with every rotation here, planting your feet firmly onto the floor. It might help letting your head follow, or if that's making you too dizzy, lean your head forward. Nicely done. Let's do two more. One more. And rest. Okay, hopefully you're a little bit warm. So our first exercise is going to be, let me move forward a little bit. I don't want to kick the door. Okay, you're going to imagine one of your legs here. One of your legs is you're placing your foot on kind of like a slider. Imagine you've got like skates on. So what you're going to do here is you're going to take same arm and leg. The arm is going to circle forward as the same leg is going to slide back as far as you can. And you're going to try to touch the ground if you can. And then this arm is going to circle back and your leg's going to come back in. Let me turn sideways so you can see. So same arm and leg moving. You're circling the arm forward as that leg is sliding back, almost like you're on skates here and the leg is smoothly sliding back. And then you're circling the arm backwards, bring the leg back in. So the arm and the leg, they're moving together. Can you see that? Let me turn this way. The arm and the leg moving together. Let me back up here. Arm and the leg moving together. Arm and the leg moving together. Yeah, so the arm goes forward as the leg slides back. The arm goes back as the leg slides forward. So we're going to do 1 minute on one side. And then when time is up, I will let you know. We're going to do 1 minute on the other side. Now, pointer here is as we're doing this movement, you're trying to keep most of your weight, I'd probably say 80 to 90% of the weight on this supporting leg. Whereas the other leg is not really having much weight on it other than the toes gliding on the floor, almost like you're sliding some dust along on the floor. So that way, if you wanted to, you could technically take your leg off the floor and not fall, but don't do that. I want you to keep your toes on the floor. But it's the idea that when you go down, we're not putting weight on that leg, but you're keeping the weight on that front leg, and the back leg that's moving is just sliding. There's barely any weight on that. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, let's try. So remember, as before, you've got 5 exercises to do. We got 2 minutes each per exercise, and then we're running through it twice. So the same 5 exercises we're doing twice, and then that's it, and then you're done. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes with this exercise. I'll let you know when your 1 minute is up so we can switch to the other side. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. See how big you can circle those arms here. Keep the arms straight. Stretch the finger up. Really think about drawing a complete full circle with the arm and drawing a complete straight line with that toe, with your big toe. Good, nicely done. Try to keep your weight on that front leg. You're balancing on that front leg, and the back leg is just there for a bit of support, but it's very light. Imagine you're just pushing around the top layer of dust on your floor, but you're not putting weight onto that actual foot. How are we doing? 30 seconds left on this side. Oh, no, I lied. You've got 20 seconds. Keep going. Well done, everybody. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And switch sides. Other side, same thing. So remember, same arm and leg moving. You're circling the arm forward to touch the floor, and you're circling the arm back to stand up. Every time you circle the arm forward, the same leg as arm is going to slide backwards, and you're thinking about putting your weight on that front leg. You're not putting weight on the leg that's sliding. You're thinking about light eggshells underneath the foot that's moving, so you don't want to crush any of the eggshells. You just want to push them around the floor a little bit. Nicely done. How are we doing? Oh, time is going by so quick. You got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, exercise 1 done. Okay, next one, we're going to bring the legs a little wider. So think wider than the shoulders, wider than the hips. And you're going to imagine you're creating a little A shape with your thighs. Can you see that? So there's like a little triangle or the letter A with your body. So don't let your legs be like this. We're not going to be an I shape. You want to be an A shape. You're going to reach those arms out to the side like so that your fingers are nice and open. Your palms are nice and open. Keep the toes pointing forward. From here, you're going to imagine your toes are bolted onto the floor. So you're pivoting on those toes, and you're going to turn your entire body to the side and clap your arms together. Did you see that? My toes, they're pointing the same direction I'm going. So if I go slower, can you see my entire body is pivoting in a unit? Can you see that? My toes and my chest are pointing the same direction. So imagine your toes are bolted into the floor and you're pivoting. You're swiveling on them like that. Okay, now the purpose of this exercise, as you probably guessed, is for balance. But what we're going to do here as well is you're aiming for sharp movement. So I don't want to see anyone do this. Nice and fluid. You don't want the movement to be fluid. You want the movement to be as robotic and sharp as you can, as robotic and as sharp as you can, okay? Clap those hands together to the sides. So essentially you're clapping the arms forward because you're turning so sharply that this arm swings closed like this, okay? Let's give it a go. Imagine those toes are bolted into the floor, so you can only pivot on those toes. Your chest and your toes are always pointing in the same direction. Here we go, 2 minutes, 3, 2, 1, and go. See how sharp you can make this movement. Every time you pivot to the side, just hold it for a second or two to test your balance here. Remember to try to get the toes to go in the same direction as your chest. How are we doing? Try to keep your chest up. Check in with your posture. Is the crown of your head still reaching for the ceiling, or are we now like this? Once you've got this movement, see if you can challenge yourself by going as sharply as you can. You're aiming for a very robotic movement here. Nicely done. Keep it going. You've got 1 minute left here. Check in with yourself. Are your toes also turning the same direction as your chest? Hopefully you're breathing, you're not holding your breath. 40 seconds, you're almost there. Keep going. Stretch those arms out. Straighten the elbows, open the fingers, open the palms. You got 30 seconds left. Keep pivoting. Imagine your toes bolted onto the floor and only you're moving those heels, you're pivoting on those toes. 15 seconds, hold that balance, you can do it. Nicely done. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. Shake out those arms if you need, shake out those legs if you need. Okay, we're going to grab our little fabrics or our tea towels now, and we're going to keep those legs nice and wide like this. Okay, so from here, we're going to hold on to the tea towel or the fabric, whatever you're using. You're going to hold on to it in one hand, and you're going to take the hand and you're going to reach it down to the opposite ankle like so. So you can bend those knees a little bit so that way you can actually get your body down to the ankle like so. So you're trying to get the fabric to touch that foot basically. From here, you're going to stand up and toss the fabric in the air, catch with the opposite hand and reach it down to the opposite ankle. So always opposite hand to the ankle. And then same thing again, you're tossing up, catching it with the other hand, bring it down to the foot, toss it up, catch, bring it to the opposite foot. So essentially imagine, you can see my body's in an A shape, right? That's how the fabric's traveling too. It's going up to the peak of the A shape, the other hand's grabbing and bringing it down. And then same thing again, toss, catch, bring it down. So when you're tossing, if I go lower so you can see, you're not doing this. I'm not just passing the fabric, right? But can you see that? You're tossed right overhead. So don't go too far forward because then you're not going to be able to catch it very well. But you're thinking almost right above your head, right above your eyebrows. So, and we're not tossing straight up like this, right? We want to be on that kind of diagonal trajectory. So like this, you're twisting, you're tossing, catch, and you're twisting back down to the opposite side, and then toss, catch. And you see that? So you're always in this kind of diagonal trajectory rather than straight up and down. Make sense? Okay, so this exercise is stolen from the PD Warrior syllabus. So if this looks familiar to you and you've done PD Warrior before, then you know this is where the exercise is from. You're reaching down to one ankle, you can bend those knees slightly, toss, catch, toss, catch. And the purpose here, we're not just catching and then lowering down, but you're tossing with the back of the hand, you're tossing with the back of the hand to the ceiling like this, and you're catching, same thing with the back of the hand to the ceiling, AKA the palm is always facing down. Toss, catch, and when you catch, you want to smack that fabric, almost like that sound, that kind of sound as you're catching. You're not catching this way, you're not catching this way, you're catching down. You're increasing the speed of which the fabric comes down. Okay, too much talking. Let's try. 2 minutes. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Catch. So really aim for that speed on the way down. You're tossing, catch. Aim for as loud as you can be as your hand hits that fabric to drive it down to the opposite ankle. You want the down to be nice and sharp, nice and effortful. Almost like you're trying to get that fabric from the air to your opposite foot as quick as you can and as loud as you can. How are we doing? Make sure you're on that diagonal trajectory with the toss and the catches. We're not just going straight up and down in the middle, but you're going from ankle to ankle. Always the opposite arm to the leg as you're doing this movement. And remember, when you're tossing, you're going right up over your head. You've got 50 seconds left. You're almost there. Try to get that fabric to touch that opposite ankle, smacking the fabric as it comes back down, making as much noise here as you can with the hand smacking the fabric, speeding up the fabric towards the ankle. How are we doing? It's hard to look at the time while I'm doing this. You've got 30 seconds. You're almost there. Make sure you stand up fully each time. And we're not just staying in a crouched position. you want to stand back up each time, using your hand, catching that fabric, smacking it down to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, put your fabrics away. Nicely done. Okay, so next one we're going to do, we're going to be using a wall. Hopefully you have a blank wall. You're going to lean your shoulders and back. Maybe let me go. No, let me go here. Don't want anything to break on me here. Okay, you're going to bring your shoulders onto the wall and your hips onto the wall as well. And you're walking your feet further away from the wall such that you're actually leaning against the wall, right? So I don't want to see anyone stand tall like this. I don't want your feet to be touching the door. I need them to be further away from the door such that your entire weight of your shoulders and hips are back onto the wall. From here, we're going to bring your hands up into a guard position for those who do boxing. And you're going to slide down the wall, keeping your shoulders and back attached to the wall, such that it's like you're sitting in an invisible chair. So for that reason, that's why walking your feet out is really good, because if you're like this, you're really close to the wall, there's no way you're going to stay on the wall. You're going to fall forward, right? So you want to lean into the wall, legs forward, squat down. And when you're down in this position, you're going to punch forward as fast as you can and as powerfully as you can for 20 seconds. And then we're going to stand back up for a 10-second break. And then we're going to go again, 20 seconds, 10-second break. We're doing that for a total of 4 rounds in order to get to 2 minutes. Okay, are we ready? Walk those feet out. Walk your feet out. Make sure they're not too close. Shoulders and your bottom and your back on the wall. You're leaning against the wall. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Squatting down, go. Punch as quick as you can, and as hard as you can. Keep going. Make sure your feet are planted firmly onto the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And standing back up, have a rest, have a rest. You got 10 seconds here before we do round 2. How are we doing? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Sliding down the wall, pretend you're sitting in an invisible chair. Go, go, go. Keep going. Big, big punches, big punches. Nicely done. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And standing back up. Have a breather for a moment. You're halfway through this round. We've got 2 more left. Here we go. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Sliding down, punch, punch, punch. As quick as you can. As quick as you can. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And standing back up. Have a rest. One more round. One more round. You've got it. Have a breather. As we go again. And 3, 2, 1. And go. As low as you can for the last one. Push your shoulders. Push it back into the wall. Sit as low as you can without falling. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stand up. Have a rest. Shake out those arms. Shake out those legs. Oh my God. Well done, everybody. How are you feeling? Okay. So our last exercise for round 1 is we're going to do our move and contrast, which you probably remember this exercise. We're going to start with the legs completely together. So your thighs and your feet completely touching, almost like you glue them together. And you're going to curl down into as small of a ball as you can. And then from here, you're going to lift the leg as high as you can. Step out as wide as you can. Fill the room with your limbs. You want to really reach those fingertips, reach the palms, reach the elbows. Step out as far as you can. And then take that same leg, lift it up high to come back in. And then same to the other side, almost like you're doing a big yawn with the arms. And you're coming all the way back in. I think we probably all know this one. We're gonna do 2 minutes of this, and then we're done round one. And then we're gonna repeat all 5 exercises again, and then you're done. You're almost there. Okay, are we ready? Okay, here we go. Legs in together, 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1, and go. Lower down. Big step out, reach the arms, open the fingers, let the leg lift as high as possible and come back. Imagine there's a small hedge on either side of you and you're trying to step over this hedge. You're not trying to touch any of the hedge. You don't want to graze the hedge. You don't want to kick the hedge. You want to lift the leg up and over as high as you can. Make sure you're stepping out as far as you can. I don't want to see anybody come back in like this. You want to lift that leg to come back in. Nicely done. How are we doing? You're 30 seconds in. We got a minute and a half left here. And then we're going to do round two. Check in with yourself. Are you still breathing? No holding your breath. Ooh. 1 minute left. Reach those fingers. Lift the legs, step out as far as you can. Really feel the difference here between the low versus the high. So not only are you moving side to side, but you're also going from a short position to a tall position. So feel the contrast between the big and the small here. You got 30 seconds left. See if you can challenge yourself to reach a little further each time. Step out a little further each time. Lift the leg a little higher each time. You're almost there. Last 15 seconds. Nicely done. Chest open. When you're in that big position, chest closed as you're in that small position. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Oh my gosh, well done, everybody. Okay, so we are repeating all 5 exercises again. The first one, we were pretending that our foot is on a slider or you're wearing skates. Same arm and leg moving. The arm is going to circle forward as you slide the leg back and touch on the floor. Remember this one. And then you're circling the arm back to bring the leg to neutral again. So from the side, it looks like this. Circle the arm forward to touch the floor as you slide that leg back. Circle the arm back to bring the leg in. And we're not putting weight on that leg, but we're sliding. So think of that sliding position, almost like if I had to, I could take the foot off the floor and I wouldn't lose my balance backwards. So you don't want to put weight on the leg. Okay, 1 minute this side, and then we're going to switch. 1 minute on the other side. Are you ready? 5 more exercises, and then you're out of here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So feel free to go a little slower for this one if you find that your balance is a little off. You're aiming to slide the toes of the moving leg along the floor in a straight line, and make sure you're circling that arm forward and backwards as fully as you can. Keep those elbows straight when you're doing the circling of the arm. Imagine you got eggshells underneath the toe of the foot that's moving, so you don't want to put weight on it and crush it, right? Nicely done. How are you doing? You got last 30 seconds here, and then we're switching sides. Nicely done. Keep that chest up even when you're reaching for the floor. We don't want to be curving our chest. Keep your spine nice and long. Long necks, shoulders away from the ears. 3, 2, 1, and switch. Other side, same thing. Circle the arm forward as you slide the foot back, so same arm and leg moving. And you're trying not to put weight on that leg, right? We're not sliding and putting weight on the leg. You're keeping your weight on your front supporting leg. Circle the arms as fully as you can. You're drawing a circle with the arms, not an oval, not a triangle, not a rectangle, a circle. You got 30 seconds here. Well done. Imagine eggshells under the toe, nice and soft. Good, big slide. Slide that leg away from you as far as possible. Keep the spine long. Shoulders away from the ears. Lots to think about, I know. Nicely done. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. You got 4 more exercises left and then you're done. Our next one, you're going to bring those legs a little wider apart, wider than the shoulder, wider than the hip. And you're keeping those toes pointing forward. The arms are going to be out into a T shape like so. This is the one where we're pivoting to the side as sharply as we can. So your whole, so if I move my arms for a second, can you see your whole body moves together in one robotic piece? So I'm not just moving my upper body or my legs, but I'm moving my entire body as a unit together. And the arms are in a lengthened position, and you're going to rotate to one side and let the force of your body rotating collect the arms together. So hold the tummy muscles nice and tight, nice and controlled as we're doing this rotation movement here. Imagine the toes bolted onto the floor and you're only swiveling on them. Okay, 2 minutes. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, you're aiming for sharp, robotic movement, no smooth, fluid movement. I want to see robotic movements. And every time you pivot, you're going to hold it for just a second or two to test your balance. See if you can keep those toes bolted to the floor and you're just pivoting on them, but you're not stepping out to the side every time you turn. Keep those toes firmly where they are. Nicely done, everybody. You're 30 seconds in. Check in with your posture. Are you nice and tall? Opening the chest, crown of the head, reaching for the ceiling. As robotic as you can be in this exercise, as sharp as you can be in this exercise, no smooth movements. We're aiming for robotic and sharp. 1 minute left. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Pivot on those toes. Remember, every time you pivot, you're holding for a second or two to test that balance in that split leg stance position. Nicely done. 45 seconds. You're almost there. Keep breathing. Pivot on those toes. You want the chest and the toes to move in the same direction. 30 seconds left. You got 3 exercises after this. You're almost there. You can do it. 25 seconds. Chest open, crown of the head reaching for the ceiling. Keep the toes going in the same direction as your chest. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Oh my God, well done, everybody. Okay, our next one is our PD Warrior snatch and grab. We're gonna have the legs nice and wide, nice and open, so even wider than the last exercise here. You want them to be wide enough that you feel a little uncomfortable standing in this position, so you feel like your inner thighs have to work to kind of keep you upright. You're gonna take your fabric or your tea towels or whatever you're using in one hand, and you're going to take your hand and you're gonna reach it to the opposite foot. So you're not in the middle, but you're actually over the foot here, so you're twisted on a bit of a diagonal. And then you're gonna take that hand, you're gonna toss the fabric up in the air, catch with the opposite hand and reach down to the foot. Toss, catch, and the emphasis is on the down. And every time you toss, you wanna stand all the way back up. So that way, if I get lower so you can see my arms, every time you toss, you're extending the arm fully, and the other arm is also extended to bring it back down. So I don't want to see anybody do this. So we don't want to be like this. Doesn't count, right? You want to actually toss, catch, toss, catch. So you want to have a moment where you're low, standing tall to low again, and you're aiming for that diagonal trajectory. Okay, are we ready? You got 2 minutes here. Last 3 exercises, and then you're out of here. You're almost done. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, the emphasis here is on the down, right? And you're on a diagonal. You're not just going in the middle. You're not just standing up and down in the middle like this, but you're going from foot to foot. So you're on that diagonal, tossing and catching. And as you catch, you want to accelerate that fabric going towards your foot. So there should be a bit of a smacking sound as your hand hits the fabric and speeds it up as it reaches towards the foot. How are we doing? Remember to stand fully back up every time you're tossing. Nicely done. Keep breathing, standing all the way back up. Let your eyes follow the fabric. You should be tossing it right over your head. Extending the arms all the way up each time. You're almost a minute in. Keep aiming for a diagonal. You're reaching from foot to foot, opposite hand to the foot. Aiming for effort on the way down, on the down, not the up, on the down. As sharp as you can be on the way down. Less than a minute left. You're almost there. About 45 seconds. Keep breathing. How quick can you snatch that fabric down toward the floor? Nicely done. "20 seconds. Aim for the diagonal. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Oh my gosh, well done. Okay, 2 more exercises and you're done. Our next one is our wall sit. We're going to bring the shoulders and the hips onto the wall. Remember, you're walking your feet away from the wall, right? Because if you're this close to the wall, you're not going to be able to slide down very far because you're going to feel like you're falling forward. So you want to make sure your feet are forward enough that you're actually leaning into the wall. So ideally not on the door like what I'm doing, but this is a space that I've got. So try to use a wall when you're doing this. Bring your feet forward. We're going to slide down into a wall sit, and then we're going to punch as quick and as powerful as we can for 20 seconds. And then we have a 10 seconds rest, and we're going to do that 4 times for a total of 2 minutes. And then after this, we got 1 more exercise, and then we're done. Are you ready? You can do this. Here we go. Shoulders, hips on the wall. 3, 2, 1, and go. Sliding down, punching as quick as you can. Go, go, go. Imagine you're sitting in a chair. Keep punching for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing back up. Deep breath. 10 seconds rest here. And then we're going to go into our round 2. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Sitting down into that invisible chair, punching as quick as you can, as many times as you can, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing back up, resting the legs, shaking out the arms. Deep breaths. You got 2 more rounds to go. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and go. Sit a little lower if you can. We've only got 2 rounds left. Go, go, go. Punch, punch, punch. As quick as you can, as quick as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Breathe. Deep breath. One more round. One more round. You're almost there. Whew. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And go. Sit even lower than before. Even lower. This is your last one. You can do this. Go, go, go. Keep going. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Oh my gosh. Shake out those legs. Shake out those arms. Well done. Have a breather. Deep breaths. You've got 1 exercise left. And then we are done. You're going to bring those feet together. Bring the thighs together. Imagine you glued those legs together, and we're going to do our big and small. We're going to curl down into a ball, so as low as you can and as compressed as you can be. And you're going to step up and over an imaginary hedge, like so. Reaching the arms, filling up as much space as you can. Open the chest, and then lift the leg back in. So remember, we don't want to see this. You want the step to be very distinctive, lifting up nice and high, and then same to the other side. Okay, last 2 minutes of hard work. Are you ready? You can do this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Stepping out as far as you can, fill up the room, and step back in as low as you can. So really feel the contrast here between the big and the small, and the short and the tall, right? So we're not just traveling sideways, but we're also having a change in our vertical height as we're doing this. Nicely done. Good. Keep breathing. Open the chest, crown of the head reaching for the ceiling every time you stand up. And then you lift the knee as high as you can to compress back in as small as you can. 30 seconds in. You're almost there. Nicely done. You got just over a minute, and then you're done. You can do this. This is your last exercise. Give it all that you've got. You're almost there. Big lift back in. You got a minute and 15 seconds. You can do it. Step out a little further than you could before. Lift your knee a little higher and spread those arms a little wider. Nicely done. You got 1 minute left. You're almost there. Big difference between the small and the big. Don't stay on one spot. Travel as you're stepping out to the side. Lift that knee higher. Spread the arms wider. Open those fingers. Extend the elbows. Nicely done. You've got 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds of hard work. See how much further you can step. How much wider you can reach those arms. How much higher you can lift those knees. Last 20 seconds. You're almost there. Keep going. Last 15 seconds. Are we still breathing? Don't hold your breath. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And done. Oh my gosh. Well done, everybody. Step those legs out nice and wide. And we're going to reach those fingertips to one side. Bend the knee. Keep the other leg straight. And you're sticking your bottom back. So from the side, just sticking your bottom back. Okay? You feel a stretch on the inner thigh. Well done. Deep breath. And then same to the other side. Keeping that leg straight, sticking your bottom back behind you. Nicely done. Standing back up. Hold on to a wall if you need. One leg forward, one leg back. You're going to bend that front knee, straighten the back knee, reach that heel to the floor. And you should feel a stretch in the calf muscle here and behind the knee. Push your hips forward a little bit. Keep that back knee straight. Hold it here. Chest up if you can. Keep taking deep breaths. Well done. Bring the leg back in. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Bend that front knee, reach that back heel down, straighten that back knee. Feel the stretch in that calf. Breathing. Well done. Second week of challenge, you're done. Good. Come back in. Okay, we're going to do a thigh stretch. You got two options. Option one, definitely hold on to something. Grab your ankle on the same side, and you're going to pull the ankle towards your bottom. Keep your knees together. Push your hips forward to feel a stretch on the front thigh. Or if that's difficult for you, grab a chair. Same thing. You're just putting your foot on the chair instead. Push the hips forward, and you'll feel a stretch in the thigh as well. So whichever one works for you is absolutely fine. Keep your chest up. Push the hips forward. Nicely done. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Grab the foot, pull it towards you, or place it on the chair behind you, whatever works for you. The most important thing is pushing the hips forward. So don't stand like this. You want to push the hips forward to feel it at the front of the thigh. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to stretch the back of our thighs. I'm going to stand sideways so you can see me. One leg forward, and you're going to bend the back knee, straighten the front knee. Reach your hands down towards the leg, chest forward. You should feel a stretch in the back of the thigh there, holding it here. The lower you go, the more you feel it, or the further out you stick that leg, the more you feel it. Shoulders away from the ears. Good, standing back up, same to the other side, other leg forward, straighten that knee, bend your chest forward. Feel a stretch to the back of the thigh. Nicely done. And standing back up, legs nice and wide. We're gonna twist our upper body again into this rotation, nice and gentle. See if you can now twist a little further than you did at the beginning. Keep the feet wide, just the upper body twisting. Elbows up, almost like you're placing them on a table here. Good, reach those arms out. Tip down to the side, see how far you can reach here. Open the fingers. Nicely done. And coming back up, drop the arms for a second. Bring them back up, same to the other side. Reach down a little further if you can. And coming back up, drop the arms, legs back in. We're gonna sweep the arms down, up and over, and breathe out. Two more. Scoop the arms, breathe in, and out. One more, scoop the arms, and out. And you are done. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the September Challenger Week 2. How are we feeling? Hopefully you're still with me. Well done, everybody. So today's session is recorded, so it will go on our YouTube channel, hopefully in the next week or so. So you're welcome to have a look on the YouTube channel and try the session again if you like. And as I said during the session, a lot of these exercises were morphed and taken from the PD Warrior syllabus, so you're welcome to check that out as well if you're interested. We do have other classes coming up for the duration of the fall and some in the winter as well. So if you find that this class is a little bit too advanced for you, don't worry, that's absolutely fine. This is supposed to be a challenger class, so it shouldn't be easy. But if you find that it's a little too much for you at the moment, that's okay. You can have a look at some of our other classes and see one that fits your level better if you feel like you need to adapt and try a different class. Okay, but for those who kept up with the class, well done. Don't worry if it feels hard, it's supposed to be hard. And I hope I see you all next week. I hope you all have a great rest of the week. Thank you for joining us. A quiet chat box is always a good thing.
I assume everybody's too tired to type. Okay, thanks everybody. I'm going to put my our email in the chat box just in case anybody does have questions, or if you think of anything later on that you want to ask, you can drop us an email at info@parkinson.bc.ca and I will do my best to answer your questions. Great. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye for now. I'll see you next week for week 3.